Hi, this is the week 5 discussion board post. The problem that we're trying to solve, it states that for the cash flow below, what is the equivalent amount at the end of year 0, end of year x plus 2, and end of year n if A, x equals 1, and B, x equals 3. Assume interest rate is 10% compounded quarterly. And on the table it shows that it's the same amount between year x and x plus 5. To start with, I'm going to solve part A, and that's x equals 1. So for our years, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, and then n equals x plus 5. Your amount $2,225 through all of those years. And at this point, x equals 1, so that's going to be one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then up here, 0. So it's asking for, so to find out what we need to do here, we got to look at the chart, and if it goes from we want to know what it is at 0, okay, for one part, the end of year 0. But we've got to start here, and so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And all of these are 2,225, okay? Wait a 6. So we want to know what it is at 0, and for that one, we're going to use the formula for finding P when given A. Okay, so one of the first unknown thing that we have is the interest rate. And since it said it was compounded quarterly, we're going to find the effective interest rate. We can do that up here. You'll use the formula IE equals 1 plus R over M to the nth power. And it's 10%. And it's going to be divided, M is 4 because it's quarterly. Sorry. And that comes up, oh yes, I'm so sorry. Left one thing off, minus 1. So that comes up with the effective interest rate, which is actually 10.38%. Okay. The formula down here will be, now this is looking at end of year 0. All right. So since the interest rate is not a, since it's an effective interest rate, you can't, I don't have a chart to go to find that, so we'll have to use the formula and work the problem through. And the formula for this one is it's P equals A times I, the 1 plus I to the n minus 1 divided by I times 1 plus I n. Enter your values, and you end up with an n in this case, so this up here is that's A, and if you say P A, and that's your 10.38%, and the n is 6, okay? Okay, 9,583.49. That's at 0, or at the end of 0. And then at the end of year 3, for that one, you're going to have to use a single cash flow formula. And so that formula is F equals P times 1 plus the effective interest rate to the nth power. And in this situation, your n value is only going to be 3, okay? And that's part of the reason you have to use this one, because if you don't, I worked it using the formula finding F when given A, and the value actually ended up being lower than this number. So this is what you'll have to do, and that's also because that with the n being smaller than the beginning or the end of the terms, that's the way you have to do this one. So you're going to want to take this value, okay, so this is your starting point. $12,619.31. So for end of year 6, we're going to have to use, that's when you'll use the finding F when given A formula. And that formula is F equals A times 1 plus I to the nth power minus 1 over the interest rate. Well, it's actually the effective interest rate in this situation. So that's going, but this is going to go back to A, all right? Because this is fine, because you're finding the very last value for your entire time over your payments. Okay. So we're going to go back to 2225 for A. And this one is actually using 6 for N. Minus 1. Okay, so it's $17,332.69. All right, for part B. So in part B, we're going to be finding the same values of 0, x plus 2, and n equals x plus 5, okay? But we start out with x equals 3. And so for this one, you'll do the same thing, have a year. We'll give a little bit of space here. And you'll have x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, and x plus 5, n equals that. All right. And for x equals 3, we come up with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8. All right. So you still have these years up here too. So you'll have year 2, year 1, and year 0. As you can see, there's no payments being made for 0, 1, and 2. Okay. So that needs to reflect on your diagram. I left x plus 1 off of there. Okay, so now it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I knew something looked funny. All right, but you also still have your 2 and your 1 and your year 0 back here, but you just don't have any payments during that time. Okay. So at this point, you're going to have to calculate for end of year 0. Oh, and also you're going to still be using the same effective interest rate, which was 10.38%. That doesn't change. Okay. So we're going to have your end of year 0, and this one's going to be split up in, this is going to be split up in two different parts for this one, because so you don't have any payments up here that you've been made, so you're going to have to calculate the whole thing and then take out for this section. All right. So in this case, we're going to be using P equals A 1 plus I N minus 1. That's all over I 1 plus I N. Okay. And in this situation, the N is going to be 6. And the reason for that is because you're calculating the whole, this amount right here, all right? So, which is 6 terms. Or it would be 6 periods of payment. So $9,583.49. That is exactly what we got on the last one, right? Well, since we're not making payments in this section, we have to reduce this. So for part 2 of this one, you're going to take this value and we're going to take a percentage of that off. And the way we're going to do that is this right here. And that's going to be negative N. And so we're reducing this by 2 years. So that that value at 0 is actually $7,865.80. All right, so for the next one, we're going to be looking at x plus 2. Well, x plus 2 is actually end of year 5. All right, so this one, we're going to use the same formula that we used in the first video that we did. And so that we take this value right here, and then we're going to plug that in as our P, but it's actually P3 is what it's going to be. So let's see, we've got to do and this is year 5. This will be at 5. So all right, so that's the value at end of year 5. That's the equivalence. And then for end of year 8, which is the same as x plus 5, all right. On this one, we're going to actually use the find f when given a formula again. So that's 2002.5, 1 plus the effective interest rate. And on this one, we are going to be using 6 for the end value because you have because we're doing the total again, and so this is going to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.